Hi guys, welcome back to the Home and Homestead. If you're new to the channel, I'm Rebecca, and today we're going to do a cook with me where I use the air fryer to make a quick and easy mini cocktail Reuben appetizer. This would be great for brunch or lunch or for a quick snack. You can make a variety of different version Reubens. You can use corned beef, pastrami, or turkey. You could use leftover corned beef from a previous meal or buy fresh from the deli. So let's head to the air fryer and make some mini cocktail Reubens. So for these mini cocktail Reubens, you're going to want to start with a small piece of rye bread. And what works really well is cocktail rye. It comes in these small little loaves. They're pre-sliced nice and thin. And they're little square pieces of rye bread. You could also use a nice natural pumpernickel bread, and these usually come pre-sliced as well, nice and thin. And you can cut these into thirds or even into sixths, so you can get nice square or rectangle pieces of rye bread for making your little cocktail Reubens. So what we'll do is take a piece of this is the cocktail rye bread. I'll put a little bit of Thousand Island dressing on. You can use leftover corned beef or some lunch meat from the deli. I have some homemade sauerkraut here. This is the caraway variety. If you'd like to see how I make my homemade sauerkraut, you can check out my video on how I do the homemade fermentation as well as the canning for homemade sauerkraut. And then you're going to want to top it with some shredded Swiss cheese. You could use a blend or just straight Swiss cheese if you'd like. We'll place this inside of our air fryer basket. I have a little silicone mat on the bottom of my air fryer basket that works really well for easy cleanup later. If you find that your air fryer tends to stick on the bottom, these little silicone mats work really well. So again, some of the Thousand Island dressing, some corned beef, some sauerkraut. Now the sauerkraut I drained and strained it real nicely. Then you could also use a paper towel and kind of squeeze the sauerkraut to get any excess moisture out. You could use homemade as I'm using today, or you could use store-bought. And same holds true for the store-bought sauerkraut. Just make sure you drain it and remove as much moisture as you can from that. Now I'm doing a corned beef variety to do a traditional Reuben for these mini sandwiches, but you could also use turkey, which would be a Rachel. And you could also use pastrami if you prefer that type of meat for a Reuben sandwich. So the amounts that you would need for this recipe really just depends on how many mini sandwiches you want to make. So I would say about a cup of sauerkraut and maybe a half pound of the corned beef. If you're using leftover, then maybe about a cup of leftover corned beef from your previous meal. And then a package of the cocktail rye bread like I'm using today, or one of those natural rye bread loaves, and cut that to the proper size that you'd like. See if I can squeeze one more little mini Reuben in here. And I'll use up the last of my corned beef slices here. There we go. Now every air fryer is a little different on how it cooks and how quickly it cooks and how evenly everything ends up being prepared. So I'm going to start by cooking this at 370 degrees for about 5 minutes, and then I'll pull the basket out, see how they're cooking, and add time as necessary. So the cheese has melted slightly and it looks like things have heated through pretty well. I'm going to put it in just for maybe 2 or 3 more minutes just to get the tops a little more golden brown. Alright, so I added 2 more minutes, so for 7-minute cook time. There we go, a little bit more golden brown on top. So if you were doing multiple batches of this, I would suggest putting the prepared ones on a cooling rack on top of a cookie sheet. That'll help keep your appetizer nice and crisp. So let me get these onto a platter. We can have a taste of our mini Reuben sandwiches. All right, here we have our mini cocktail Reubens. These are great for brunch or lunch. You can have them as an appetizer, as an entree if you have a few of them. If you wanted to, you could also garnish with some Thousand Island salad dressing. Just kind of drizzle it over the top, either when serving or on the whole platter. There already is Thousand Island dressing on the Reuben sandwich that we cooked in the air fryer. So you can see the nice pieces of corned beef and the sauerkraut, the melty cheese all around. And the cocktail rye bread gives it a nice crispy little miniature Reuben sandwich. So quick and easy and a yummy little snack. Well, if you'd like more inspiration on other recipes using corned beef or appetizers and snacks, you can check out my playlists and recipes on the topics. If you're interested in food preservation, canning, fermentation, dehydrating, and other food preservation methods, you can check out that playlist as well. Thank you for joining me today in the kitchen. And if you're new to the channel and haven't done so yet, I would really appreciate you subscribing. Well, I hope you're having a fantastic day. See you next time. Take care.